good morning students, and welcome back in our video lecture with the same topic, water. So students, in my previous video lecture we have studied about water cycle. What is water cycle? What are the different steps in water cycle? And also we have discussed about some water problems like flood and drought. So these are all points we have discussed. So student, you all know means there is a lot of storage on earth, means lot of storage of water on earth, but still many people in our country, many people in our world, they are facing a water problem. They are not getting enough water for drinking. So we have to solve this water problem. Then how to conserve water? So today's point is how to conserve water. So you can do this at your level also. So how can we conserve this water? So first point is plantation. Plant more and more trees, so that what will happen? Plantation directly increases proportion of rain. So plantation is related to rainwater. That's why it will help to maintain water cycle in our on our earth. Also roots of plants hold that soil tightly. That's why if there is a soil layer on ground, then what will happen? All the water which flows from that ground, it will seeps into the ground, it will seeps into the earth, and it will increase groundwater level. So plantation is a most important point for conservation of water. Then avoid water pollution. This is also most important point because you all know there are many sources of water in our surrounding, and what happens because of industrialization and also domestic sewage, that we will just going to study. We are going to study in next point. So just avoid that water pollution. Then close the taps tightly. It is this conservation or this step is related to lower level, means you can do it at your level. Close the taps tightly so that we can prevent water loss. Then repair leaking pipelines. Recycle and reuse of water is the main step in this water conservation. And rainwater harvesting. So today we are going to study in detail what is rainwater harvesting. So theme behind rainwater harvesting is catch water where it falls. So this is the theme behind rainwater harvesting. Student, you all know, as rainwater falls, or means as rain falls on the earth, then what will happen? All rainwater just flows down through the different sources also it flows on ground. That time what will happen? This water just seep into the ground, and it will increases or it will store as groundwater. But nowadays what happens, student, in our surrounding many roads, buildings and streets are there which are made up of concrete, and because of this concrete, all this water, it means it cannot seep into the earth. It will not seep into the ground because there is no soil layer. Then there is need to store this water, to stop this flowing water, and for that rain harvesting is the method. So what is rainwater harvesting? Rainwater harvesting is nothing but, in simple words, you can say that it is just prevent flowing water, store flowing water, and just use it for future. It is called rainwater harvesting. So there are two methods for rainwater harvesting: rooftop rainwater harvesting and roadside rainwater harvesting. As the word indicates, what is a rooftop? All the water which just flows from roofs of houses, buildings, it just collected it just collect in pipeline, and then just pit means in the ground, just make a pit and store that all water into that pit, into that tank, water tank. And after, as you all know, this rainwater consists of many microorganisms, dust particles, germs are there. So this stored water just clean, filter, and then use for future. This is called roof rainwater harvesting. Or also we can do it by just dig in the soil and just collect all the water which flows from this rooftop, and just collect that water into that dig. Then what will happen? All the water gets seep into the ground, and it will help to increase groundwater level. Second method is roadside rainwater harvesting. For roadside rainwater harvesting, special percolating pits are there. So you have to make that percolating pits and just store all the flowing water on road and collect it into that percolating pit. it will increase, or we will get this water from waste, or otherwise it will seep into the ground, and it will help to increase groundwater level. So what are the advantages of rainwater harvesting? It will help to face water problem, and by using this rainwater harvesting we can solve water problem, and also it will help to increase groundwater level. So this is rainwater harvesting. The theme behind rainwater harvesting is simple: catch water where it falls. Just store this water and use it for future. The next point is water pollution. So students, nowadays what happens because of industrialization, domestic sewage, all water get polluted. So domestic sewage and industrial waste, industrial effluent, these are the main sources, main causes of water pollution. So what happens, students? All the domestic waste, it get let down into the nearby water sources, and it will pollute the water from river, ponds, lake. Also because of industrialization, all the waste, all the effluent which just comes out from this, or which get produced into these factories, it just let down in nearby sources, and it will cause water pollution. And this third source is, as you all know, because of explosive rate of population, food demand increases, and to fulfill this food demand, farmers are continuously using chemical fertilizers, pesticides, weedicides, and when there is rain, this all pesticides, chemical fertilizers, this all just wash off along with this rainwater, and this then all this flows into the river, ponds, lakes, and it will cause water pollution. So this water pollution effects on human beings also, on aquatic life also. All aquatic life, all aquatic animals, and all aquatic plants get disturbed because of this water pollution. So how we can prevent this water pollution? Just proper means domestic waste or industrial waste, it should be treated before letting down into nearby water sources. Then avoid use of chemical fertilizers. Instead of that, use organic or natural fertilizers. Then the next method is, as this water is polluted, we have to purify this water before drinking or before using it. Because water pollution is what? When certain chemicals, certain factors, certain substances get mixed with water, then that water becomes unfit for living things. It is called water pollution. So we have to purify this water before using, before drinking it. So water purification, we can do this water purification by loading. What is loading? We have discussed about loading, sedimentation, and filtration in my previous video lecture. Also we have conducted activities related to that. So what is loading? Loading means a substance which is used for loading is called coagulate, like alum. So in rainy season we are doing this thing, at your home also you are doing. Just swirl that alum in that impure water. Then what will happen? This alum just coagulate all soil particles, and all soil particles, dust particles just settle down at the bottom, and you will get clear water. Then sedimentation, we have done activity related to sedimentation also. What is sedimentation? If water consists of soil particles, heavy dust particles, and if you just keep that water for a few hours, then what will happen? All the heavy particles settle down at the bottom, and then separate clear water which is present on the upper level without disturbing that sediment. It is called decantation. So all this process we have discussed in my previous video lecture. And filtration. Then aeration is one more process which is used to purify this water. So what is aeration? Air with a high pressure, it just blown into water, and it will kill all germs present in water. Chlorination is done by using bleaching powder. So bleaching powder is used as a source of chlorine. In rainy season, you have experienced there is particular smell for tap water. That smell is nothing but the smell of bleaching powder, because our municipality also use this bleaching powder as source of chlorine. And chlorination is the process which is used for purification of water. Then also in swimming pool this chlorination is done. Then in market some purifiers and RO systems are there. These purifiers and RO systems are just attached to your tap water, and then you will get all germ free pure water by this by using this purifier and RO systems. Then sterilization is new point which is related to this water. So what is sterilization? You all know about waterborne diseases. Student, what is mean by waterborne disease? Diseases which are spread through water are called waterborne disease. So tell me some examples of waterborne disease. Yes, typhoid, then cholera, jaundice, these are waterborne disease. So what is sterilization? Sterilization is in simple word removal of germs to prevent that waterborne disease. This is called sterilization. Means just sterilization is the process of removal of germs from water. So you can do this sterilization by boiling. Boiling is the best method for killing germs which are present in water. Then we can also sterilize water by just put it exposed to sunlight or air. It will help to kill germs, but it will kill germs to limited extent only. Means we cannot kill all germs present in water by exposure to sunlight. Then chemical treatments are there like ozonization and chlorination. Chlorination, just now I told you what is chlorination. And what is ozonization? So ozone is the gas which is used to kill germs present in water. So if this ozone is used for the sterilization, then that is called ozonization. Then new point is there, that is a hard water. So simple word hard water is when in water higher amount of minerals are present, then that water is called hard water. Then how to identify whether the given sample of water is hard water or potable water? You can do this by using simple activity. Take 2 glass and just take tap water in 1 glass, and you have to take sea water or ocean water in another glass, but nowadays it is not possible to collect that sample. So you can add salt in tap water and make it salty as like sea water. So then add soap solution or detergent powder in both glass. Then you will observe that in tap water large amount of foam is formed, while in salty water, in water having a larger amount of mineral, it just turns milky and it will not produce foam. So it is hard water. So what is hard water? Hard water is the water which consists of higher amount of minerals. There are two types of hardness of water, temporary hardness and permanent hardness. Then what is temporary hardness? If water consists of minerals like calcium bicarbonate and magnesium bicarbonate, then we can convert this temporary hard water into potable water by boiling or by heating it. When we boil this water, then what will happen? All this calcium bicarbonate and magnesium bicarbonate, it will convert it into insoluble salt, and that water becomes potable, or it is very, means we can use that water. Because we cannot use hard water for any purpose, means we cannot use for domestic purpose also, we cannot use for agricultural purpose. So if we convert this hard water, temporary hard water, then we can use it for our domestic use. Then what is permanent hardness of water? Permanent hardness of water is if water consists of minerals like calcium chloride, magnesium chloride, calcium sulfate and magnesium sulfate, then we cannot convert this hard water into potable water by any process, and that is called permanent hardness of water. And we cannot use this permanent hard water for any, means for domestic purpose also we cannot use this water for agricultural or industrial use. So this water is unusable, we cannot use this water. This is about hard water. Then next point is universal solvent. So student, in previous standard also you have studied about this. What is why water is called universal solvent? Because many substances are easily dissolved in water, and that's why it is called universal solvent. And hence we use water for many chemical reactions. Means we use water as a medium for many chemical reactions. Then saturated solution. What is saturated solution? You have studied about solute, solvent and solution. What is solute? The substance which get dissolved is called solute. The liquid in which that solute get dissolved, it is called solvent, and whatever form after dissolving solute into solvent, it is called solution. So saturated solution means what? Also one activity is there related to saturated solution. Just take a glass of water and then add salt in it. Try to dissolve more and more salt. If you just heat that water, then you can add more salt in it, and after certain time you will observe that no more salt get dissolved into that water. That is called saturated solution. So if no more solute get dissolved into given solution, then it is called saturated solution. Okay, so I hope you got all points related to how to conserve water, rainwater harvesting, water pollution, its causes for prevention, water purification, sterilization, hard water, why water is called universal solvent, and saturated solution. If you have any doubt in this, you can ask me. Thank you.